This is America, where law enforcement can stop and detain you for no reason. They don't have to have any reason to stop and detain you. Just you can be suspicious, so they can do it. Now, I know most of you are like, that would never happen to me. And you're probably right. And you're probably white, so it probably won't. But for those of you who aren't white, just know that you're allowed to be stopped and detained without any probable cause. Here's Tom Homan, who still hasn't figured out how to speak and enunciate. He was on with whoever the shit this guy is. I don't know. Fox News is bringing out all sorts of people I've never seen before. And he's telling you something that is unequivocally untrue here.
A reaction to this Biden-appointed federal judge out in Los Angeles, apparently expected today to issue a temporary restraining order halting your lawful operations. She says, I think it's important for the court not to burden otherwise lawful law enforcement activities. Your reaction there?
Look, people need to understand, ICE officers and Border Czar, they don't need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them.
You hear that, folks? ICE doesn't need probable cause to detain you. That's not true. It's not a real thing. That's just that. This is just, and you might have missed it because it sounded like, so I'm going to interpret. They're saying that in this country, you no longer need to be suspected of anything for ICE to come up and detain you and question you. You can just be walking down the street, minding your own goddamn business. And ICE gets to come up and question you and detain you. That's what Tom Homan is saying. Somebody want to cite that law? Somebody want to point to the part of the Constitution that says that's okay? In fact, I live in Arizona. We already ruled against this. The Supreme Court specifically ruled against this. The Supreme Court specifically ruled that ICE agents and Border Patrol, they are not allowed to detain you for no reason. That's why Joe Arpaio is a convicted felon, because the Supreme Court said you have to, or the court said, yeah, you can't do that. And he said, fuck you. And he did it anyways. And then the Supreme Court ruled on it, and he said, fuck you. And then he's a convicted felon now. We've actually already had court cases on this. This has all happened before. But what we didn't have before is a bought and paid for Supreme Court that's just rubber stamping this type of shit. That's not, this is America, where law enforcement can stop and detain you for no reason. They don't have to have any reason to stop and detain you. Just you can be suspicious, so they can do it. Now, I know most of you are like, that would never happen to me. And you're probably right. And you're probably white, so it probably won't. But for those of you who aren't white, just know that you're allowed to be stopped and detained without any probable cause.
Just need this totality of the circumstances, right? They just got through the observation, get articulable facts based on the location, the occupation, their physical appearance.
Make that bitch say articulable one more time, please. Articulable.
Their actions, like a uniformed border police walks up to them at for instance, a Home Depot. And they got all these articulable facts, plus the person walks away or runs away. Agents are trained. What they need to...
what are the articulable facts? What are they? If you walk into a Home Depot and you have all of these facts, what are they? Articulate them, please, Tom. What are the facts? That there's people at Home Depot that have brown skin, and then they ran. Oh! Get them, boys! They're running. Maybe they're running because you just said that they can be detained for no fucking reason. Maybe they're running because you said that you get to stop and question them. They don't want to do that. Maybe they're running because they're here illegally. Who knows? That's your job to figure it out. You guys are advocating for a police state now? In this country, if a police officer shows up and detains you, you bend over and you take it. And Mag is like, yeah, take it.
Detain somebody temporarily and question them. It's not probable cause, it's reasonable suspicion. We're trained on that. Every agent, every 6 months get Fourth Amendment training over and over again. These officers are really good at what they do. And if this judge is making a decision that's against what these officers are trained, what the law is based.
Bro, you got to finish your words, man. You got to finish your words. You can't just stop words halfway through all the time. This is really difficult to understand. I'm starting to think that possibly the reason that all of these ICE agents don't understand due process, they don't understand rights, is because they haven't heard a word that this mushmouth moron has said. This is insane. Like, why do you have the dumbest guy possible up there be as the leader? Why'd you choose the dumbest fucking idiot to be in charge? Yeah, it's okay. You guys could just trample all over rights. It doesn't matter as long as they're brown.
upon, then they're going to shut down operation. I think that's your end game. They want ICE to stop doing this, but if they base it on the rule of law, they're going to find out Border Patrol and ICE is doing exactly what they're going to do in accordance with law.
And you're not going to stop coming. Tom Homan, thank you for getting up with us.
I forgot about that. Clip this part.
What the law is based upon, then they're going to shut down operation. I think that's your end game. They want ICE to stop doing this, but if they base it on the rule of law, they're going to find out Border Patrol and ICE is doing exactly what they're going to do in accordance with law.
And you're not going to stop coming. Tom Homan, thank you for getting up.
I bet he stopped years ago. I'm just going to guess that he stopped that years ago. And if he does, it's mostly dust. I don't think he's still doing that. His wife doesn't even live with him anymore. I think his wife's out. His wife got out of here. You talk a lot of shit online like you're a tough guy. In person, you'll be real quiet. Shut up. We've got a new subscriber. In person, I would talk this same shit, and then you would get really hysterical and try and fight me, and then I would call you a little bitch for trying to fight because you can't use your words. That's what dumb people say. Yeah, in person, you wouldn't say this. Yeah, I would. And in person, if you would try and fight me because I'd say this, then I think like you're just like a little bit hysterical. Toughen up. Why are you trying to fight people over words? I would say it right to your face. I would say it right to your face, and then you would try and fight me, and then I would laugh at you for trying to fight me. That's what Tom Homan schooled AOC. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He destroyed AOC. Old Mushmouth was killing it.